All right, it's Sunday, January 16th. Today is potentially the last day that I will be in this room. I we've been staying at the house, Amanda and I, for the past, few days or whatever. And I just got the day off of the restaurant here, and my dad and I are gonna try to move this big ass bitch and this computer and all this, and then this bed. Dresser's probably gonna stay. I gotta take all the clothes out of it there. I gotta take all the clothes out of over here. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Uh, I just have to get everything out of here, and then we'll be officially moved out, I suppose. So stay tuned. Just a quick update here. My dad and I packed up all the shit. This is all in his van. We got the box spring for the bed. We got the tabletop for the desk. We got the mattress legs for the bed and shit like that in there. All these boxes of shit. And then this is beautiful over here. We have, this is my PC, which I can barely see because my screen is not very bright, but I'm sure you can see that. We got my PC in there, and this is beautiful as well. We have my screen, my 49-inch Samsung, just fucking belted in the back, curved. It's funny. And then we got some more shit back here in the trunk that I'm not going to open. But yeah, so let's hope that all of this stuff gets to the house. Okay, I've been sitting in here trying to set up the office, the new space here. Got everything moved in. Saw some couple of clips from my phone earlier today. I'm going to just document this because, I don't know, maybe it's important. I feel like it's kind of important. So this is our desk setup here. Now, this is not what it's going to look like. I've been playing around for, an hour or so here thinking about different ways to set this up. And I'll put a picture on the screen of what the thing used to look like over at the other house, at my parents' house. But the problem is that it's not just physically the same thing. Like, it's in a corner, but the corner is on the left this time rather than the right. That's just like right in from the doorway. So if you come in, I could turn this computer so the glass is facing the way that it was. If I just mirrored the same setup, then there's like a huge, basically like a huge, thing right as you walk in. Like it's the other side of this. It's hard to visualize, but just imagine a big case, like, just the black side of the case, glass is pointing the other way. I tried it. I don't really like it. So what I want to do is I want to put it over in that corner. I've been playing around with it, like basically like this same thing, but over there. And then it'll help with cable management. You'll still be able to kind of see the lights to a certain degree. And I got to bring this guy over if I want to do that. So I don't know. I was just playing around, like even with the back thing here, like the way this mounts, and like I switched it around. So like, instead of this bar being here, like moved it, like it was over here and we moved it this way. It gave us a little bit more room. Slid the screen a little bit more to the right, but ultimately what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to unscrew this thing from the bottom and slide that whole thing over. And then at the end, hopefully when this is all good and looks great, we'll have the case in that same position, but just slid down over to right around where that hole is. It'll end there. And then this screen will kind of cover a little bit of it probably, but the screen will just be moved over more towards the right, kind of angled back towards the center slightly, and hopefully it'll look all good here. So I'm gonna try to make that happen. Let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't break anything. Alrighty, today is January 18th. It's a Tuesday. Obviously we're fully moved in. Haven't been filming a ton during this time because we've been busy, but just a little bit of a lay of the land here. The office is kind of still in shambles. We got some clothes, we got some different things that I had in my closet in my parents' house. Got to figure out what the hell we're doing with that stuff on the auxiliary bed here. Might have to return those shades or get replacements or something because I'm pretty sure they're not exactly going to fit in these windows, which is a pain in the ass. I measured correctly. I don't know. The windows definitely aren't like kind of square there. I think they kind of bow inward a little bit, like that piece of wood where the shade would go. But I don't know. Got to deal with that. And then yeah, all this stuff. But the desk is coming along. I was doing some cable management and such yesterday. I like the way that it's looking. It doesn't have any internet. I tried to connect it to the Wi-Fi with because my motherboard has that, and it was kind of giving me a little bit of shit. But That's not what I wanted to do anyway. I wanted to just hardwire it in via that jack down there. So that is kind of what I'm working on now. I'm working on the network downstairs so I can get it up here, and then I can deal with all these wires and put it into our switch that goes up there and into the walls and all that. We'll show you all that. Bedroom, still need the shades and such. Got some doors chilling in there, but it's coming along. Bathroom looks great. Looks pretty good, except it doesn't have a door. Need more door handles. I mean, we have them all, but we need to make these damn holes bigger. Living room looks fantastic, obviously. Not too much different in here. Need to mount those speakers. Get all this shit out of here. Over here, some hockey clothes. Printer that'll go in the office. More clothes and shit. Probably throw all these trophies away. Just that sort of stuff there. Over this way, just dealing with these tools and shit. And then in the kitchen, we have some food that I haven't finished. I haven't finished putting, what's it called? Shelves in the pantry, but that food and everything will go in there. Kitchen looks great too. I mean, I'm not a fan of the look of the kitchen, but we've been keeping a pretty clean kitchen. And I don't know. I just like it. It's not overly cluttered. There's nothing crazy going on. The food, like I said, will all be in that one thing. So we'll be good there. But everything in here, we're going to get, man, I was talking yesterday about getting a new table and such. I don't know. We'll deal with that. But yeah, so that's that. I really want to paint these steps badly. Just because, I don't know. Kind of want to do that, but that's not high on the priority list. Still a mess down here. Some Amanda's clothes, some of other like Amanda's things and such, things we got to put together. All of this actually isn't like material items. It's all for our job upstairs in the attic. Our but what's it called? The air handler and it's really just the air conditioning, but there's an air handler in the attic. We got to replace a bunch of flex duct and boots and ductwork type stuff up there and insulate. So that's all not really like in the house. It's kind of just material that we haven't done yet. And then in here is where I've been working. So just to kind of give a brief overview, this wire right here is an Ethernet cable. It travels all the way up into that closet in the office, and it comes in the internet service, I guess, comes in from the ONT right here. And then I've got this mess kind of going on here. It'll go into the router. Again, we've talked about the networking diagram again. I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here. But that's what I'm working on. I'm working on this right here, which is the most annoying and aggravating thing you could ever ask to do in your entire life. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't ever, voluntarily have to crimp Ethernet cable is what this is called. Like you take an Ethernet cable like this, and then you strip back the wires and everything, put them into the specific order, and then try to fit 8 wires into this. Now this is a pass-through cable. I will say that. I'll leave a link to these ones in the description. Makes it slightly easier because you can see when they come out the other side, and then you can just kind of clip them off, and it kind of all works the same. But the only other time I did this, these wires wouldn't come through here, so that you'd be like trying to see them inside here. Just make sure that you did it right. And they have testers for this and stuff that you can clip this into one side of the machine, little, tool thing, clip this into one side, clip the other side of the thing into another one. It's cool. I mean, that works. I don't have one of those, but the point is that you would not believe, I don't know, maybe I'm just not good enough at this. You would not believe how difficult it is to unstrand these. You have to undo these because they're in pairs like this. Then you have to put them into actually this specific order, one of these specific orders, but I go with T568B, and then put that into the pin so it looks like this. It's just a pain in the ass. Don't do it. Don't put yourself through that kind of stress because it is annoying as fuck. But that is what I'm doing today. I got to get this situated down here. I want to put everything. I want to put like our Nest router here, our Lutron bridge, our Philips Hue bridge, and our switch all on this ledge right here. It's probably a temporary location. I'd like to put it somewhere a little bit like different. Like I have no idea where yet, but like a little shelf somewhere or something, even in that cabinet would be kind of cool. But I'm not exactly sure yet. But something like that. Yeah, so I'm just going to set it all up, and then I'll have, just to kind of explain this like visually, the internet would come into here, it would go into the router, and then from the router, I will have an Ethernet cable connected into this switch right here. And then basically it's like, you know, think of it as like the internet gets to this switch, you know, via like this first port, and then anything else you connect in, it'll go to that. So like in 2, for instance, I will have the wire that goes upstairs. So then like it's like the internet comes in through 1 and then it goes out through 2. You shouldn't really think about it like that because it's just a whole network. It's not really directional, but that's the way that, you know, I kind of think of it. So then it'll go upstairs, and then we have another one of these guys, and when we get to that, I'll show you, but then it'll go to the other places upstairs, like my desk area, Amanda's desk area, you know, the TV in the living room, stuff like that. But lots more work to do on this, and like I said, that is a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna get to it, and I will keep you updated here as we go. All right, so after a little bit of work there, I think we're pretty much set up for the most part. Still kind of looks ridiculous, but here's my temporary solution. I'll explain what I did here. I pulled some of this wire down. This is from that, you know, upstairs. I hooked it in. Actually, I think I had to I made that little one. Put it in there on 2. This is the one that comes from outside. I just, you know, bundled it up here. It goes into the router, and then from the router, I've just made this little tiny patch cable here that goes from the router to the switch. That's in slot number 1 there, and then in slot number 2, it goes up to the first floor, which we will deal with. Slot number 3 goes over our Lutron bridge. Slot number 4 goes over to our Philips Hue bridge. And then 5 and 6, we don't have any of that yet, but we'll run a couple more Ethernet cables. One will go up in the ceiling here and then over into the podcast studio somewhere. And then the 6th one will go up over into probably right there on that wall, perhaps. I'm not exactly sure yet if we'll need to do that or not, but there's gonna be a TV over there. So something like that probably, and that'll be nice for our switch there. Pretty sure that's all we're gonna need down here. As far as like placement, sorry about the lighting, that's probably pretty shitty. As far as like placement, it's just chilling on the windowsill right now, and there's 4 things right there, obviously, that I have to plug in. I'm limited on outlets, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slide this fridge back there, and I'm gonna plug them all into this power strip, and that'll be our temporary networking solution down here. Eventually, you know, I'll make a shelf or something like that. Maybe a couple quick tips here since we are talking about this. Just try not to ever put yourself in a situation where you have to crimp Ethernet cable, because it's just a pain in the ass. You got to get all of those little 8 wires through like a little tiny, you know, all these little tiny channels inside these, you know, these connectors here. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but if you do it, maybe get those pass-through cables that I have linked in the description. And then also, I don't have one, but you're gonna need a crimping tool. Okay, and I almost cut my fucking finger again. Be careful. I got a little cut here the other day from these little blades on here. But what this thing does is you put the you know, the thing in there, the little connector. When it's done, it's all on the wire, and it just crimps it down so it doesn't fall off the cable. Like the connector doesn't fall off the cable. But if you have those pass-through cables, you want a different crimper. Just look for like RJ45 pass-through. I'll put a link in the description to one. I don't personally have it, but this is just a more of a traditional one. The only difference is that when you crimp with this, it doesn't cut off the ends that are, you know, pass through that thing. I'm not sure if I showed it or not, but I'll put a picture on the screen or something. It crimps the wire, the connector, and it also cuts off the ends. This thing does not, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I have to use like something like a utility knife to cut it off, or like scissors, and it's messy, and I hope I didn't fuck up the integrity of the cable doing it. It's probably fine, but it's just harder and unnecessary. So I'm not gonna buy one because I only have a few to do, but if you're gonna do this yourself, make sure you get that tool if you're gonna use the pass-through ones. That's all I can say. All right, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug all this stuff in, and then I'm gonna go play around upstairs, and hopefully we can get some internet going here. Okay, we have a bit of an issue, a small one, but it's an issue nonetheless. Okay, so literally took me a long ass time to get this to work up here. All of this stuff, you know, the pass-through there, and then it took me so long to get this connector done, to get in there. It was a pain in the ass, but eventually I got it. And then what I did was, okay, so I have my Bobcat helium miner. Maybe you've seen some videos on that. But the plan is to put that right up, you know, kind of like next to this, like over here in the other corner. And the problem that I had was, well, I was trying to test this. So the wire that I just did, that connector, comes from downstairs. So I took the Bobcat helium miner and I plugged it into the switch that's right here in this closet, and it wasn't connecting to the internet. So that's not good. So then to double test that the problem was actually here and not like with the helium miner or whatever, I went downstairs and I plugged it into that switch down there, which I know that works because the bridges and everything else like that work. And there's an issue there. It works down there. So that's chilling down there, even though it's going to go up here. But the real problem that I have right now is somewhere between the switch downstairs and this switch here, something is wrong. Like, I don't know what it is. It could be the connector I put on downstairs at the other end of this long wire. It could be this connector. I don't know. The easiest way, I know that they sell testers, like little tester tools, which I might have to just pick one up and check because this is a pain in the ass. And I have more ones to do anyway, but I just didn't want to have to do that. But I might end up doing that. But yeah, this is aggravating. So it's either the problem that I'm at right now and what I need to solve, but I'm probably gonna end up taking a break from this because this is exhausting. What I'm probably gonna do, or what I have to solve, is there's a long wire that goes from downstairs to up here. It's either the cables, like either the actual cable is messed up somewhere, like it's cut or something, because it does go all through the walls and everything like that. Something's wrong either there, or something's wrong, you know, like maybe at the ends, like where I put the stuff on. So I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna end up buying a tester to just see. I'm not really sure what that would really tell me. Might not tell me anything. I don't know. But I'd like to do that at some point. But another thing that I'm gonna do, I might end up, you know, putting the rest of these things on here, even though it's not really gonna matter right now, because you know, I'm not gonna get power to the printer. I'm not gonna get power. I'm not gonna get internet to there or over in the, you know, living room or whatever, but that's where these would go. So maybe I'll put some caps on that or whatever and just get it wired up there, and then just hopefully deal with this one middle cable. But one thing I'm probably gonna do here is I'm probably gonna cut the power to this room, and I'm going to take this switch out and get a cover plate here at some point, just like a white cover plate. I'm gonna wire this stuff in there hot because this switch controls this light. But these are Philips Hue bulbs, and they're gonna be Philips Hue bulbs from everything that I can kind of think of, because I like to have my office and my room, like when I was at my parents' house, it was like it had these in it so you can change the color temperature. I do like that, and that's way easier. I think you have to have smart bulbs obviously to do that, and rather than the smart switches that we had outside in the other rooms. So what I'm gonna do here is, my plan is to take the switch out, wire it always hot, just a blank white plate over it, and then this guy is just the switch. It's like the dimmer switch for like Philips Hue smart bulbs, totally wireless. It just communicates. I don't know how necessarily, but somehow with the bridge and everything. I'm probably gonna put it here actually, just like stick it on the wall here, because this actually all works out perfectly, because this is like the dumbest spot for a switch, like around the corner when you come in the room. So, we don't need a box or anything like that. I'll just try to figure out some adhesive and slap this baby on the wall here. But yeah, that's what I want to do. So I'm going to cut the power, pull that out of there. Then I need a cover plate, I need some adhesive, and we should be good to go on that, at least finish that up. And real quickly, I might as well talk about this since we talked about electrical stuff, and I don't think I've chatted about this in a while. This is our light here. I don't know if I showed you those, but I'll put these in the description as well. Link to that light over there and this one in the hallway are just the same. That was weird. Why did that not? That was weird. But that light fixture sucks anyway. Just got shitty LED bulbs in it. But anyway, we got that light over there. We got this light over here. And what I did here was, this is our hallway light. I'm going to change that. I have a Caseta smart dimmer coming, but they sent me the wrong one. They actually sent me this one right here. This stupid like just on and off switch one. But this one requires a neutral wire anyway. It's labeled incorrectly. It says smart dimmer. This is not a dimmer, so somebody screwed that up. I gotta return that, and I have the other one coming. So smart dimmer here, Caseta smart dimmer. This is gonna be this little cool plate thing here that I had on, but then I took off. just like a blank, because what I did here is this was a three-way switch that controlled a light outside above the garage. Don't ask me why the hell they did that. But if you've been following, you know that I found that out in a vlog. That was kind of funny. But I'm just gonna put that there, and then I'll just put this in. This is for the upstairs, just like it's a Lutron, just like a dumb switch, just a rocker, no smart capability or anything. And that is to the attic lights there. Don't need smart attic lights. That's silly. Boom, smart dimmer, Claro 3 gang wall plate from Lutron, and that's gonna look awesome. Super excited about that, and yeah, almost done. Almost done. We'll wrap it up with this. I was talking about obviously the lights in the office. That's lights in the hallway. I don't know if I ever showed this. I think I might have, but these are just dumb switches here in the what's it called, the bathroom here as well. But I switched this out from, now they're rockers rather than the I don't know, the other variant, just like the switch. Did this GCFI in white, so that's all good. Got to do a little bit more in the kitchen. 2 GCFIs in white there. But then I don't know what we're gonna do in here yet. I'm thinking maybe, just to make it easy, some hue, but I don't actually know. Definitely not a switch, but I don't know if we're gonna go caseta and then light bulb there, or I think actually, more that I've done this, if you're gonna do smart lighting in your house, you got to realize if you do smart switches, the color temperature is always gonna be the same. Like you could probably do smart switches and smart bulbs, but I think it's kind of redundant for the most part. It seems like, it wouldn't make any sense. So, and it'd probably get like a little messed up sometimes. So the real thing is like, do you want to control the color temperature, or do you like the bulbs and the stuff that you already have? Like if you like your fixture and you like the bulbs and everything, you should probably get a smart switch. But if you want, like if you have a fan like this, and if I wanted those bulbs to be able to change to like, a yellowish color, 27 Kelvin thing or whatever, and, and all that, then you should probably get smart bulbs and then wire the switch like always hot, and then put that thing on, because like the power will always be going to the bulbs, but you're just turning the bulbs on and off, if that makes sense, rather than like cutting the power at the switch. I'm not an electrician fully. I play one on TV sometimes, but that's what I'd say. I'm not sure what we're gonna do in here yet, but when it happens, I'll update you.